our last section of German vocabulary is about names and introductions. So to ask somebody, what is your name? We're going to have a formal and an informal form of that per usual. So the formal version is Wie heißen Sie? We'll talk about that really weird looking B looking letter in a little bit. Okay? For right now, just know that that's a separate German letter and it's pronounced like a 2S sound, like S. Okay? So Wie heißen Sie? The informal version, Wie heißt du? Wie heißt du? Alright, so that weird B-looking letter, it's called an Estet. It's a German letter that used to exist in English but doesn't anymore. We stopped using it somewhere around like the 1100s. So you'll see it in really, really ridiculously old English texts, but the Germans still use it today. It looks a little bit different typed versus handwritten. When it's typed, it looks like a very fancy uppercase B. When it's handwritten, we don't want to have to really take the time to do all those little fancy things. So we just make a capital B with a very long tail, and we often draw it all as one giant line if possible. As stated, we're going to pretend like it's two S's. We're going to give it that S sound. That's why we have Wie heißen and Wie heißt. So you don't hear the difference between an S and an Estet. To respond, to say my name is, you're going to say Ich heiße. Ich heiße. So that CH is also really important. So a lot of people, when they think of German CHs, they think of a very like deep rumbling type of CH that comes from your throat, that H sound. That does exist in German, and it is often written with the CH sound. However, the CH in German can also be more like a hiss almost. It's a H, ich. It's not ich, it's ich. Ich heiße. And then, of course, fill in your name. Ich heiße Brittany. Ich heiße Bob. Whatever. We also have the phrase this is to introduce someone else. Das ist. This isn't a phrase that you are expected to memorize or that you'll be directly tested over, but it could show up in like a reading or something like that. Pretty easy to understand. It looks a lot like English. And then finally, because we're polite, we're going to tell people pleased to meet you after they introduce themselves, and you'll say freut mich. Freut mich.